one-upped him in this movie called King and I, because I think she thought that it was like a racist or a slave type of woman or whatever, type of movie. So she didn't take this role, and it was a supporting role, and she just was the lead actress in a movie. So I guess she didn't want to because of that. And then I think that, well, it said that Otto, which was the producer of Carmen Jones, it said that he was like telling her not to do it. And another black actress, I believe, took the part, and it became a wildly successful movie, and she always regretted not taking that role because it could have, you know, just catapulted her career even further. So I feel like if she would have listened to her first instincts, then she would have been better off, and just took the role. Because my thing is about movies back then is that, sure, it's a lot of racist movies, it's a lot of slave movies, but one thing you're supposed to do as an actress is capture and captivate the audience. It doesn't matter if the audience is white, blue, orange, yellow, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're supposed to evoke emotion into the souls of the people that are watching it, and that shows what a good actress you are. So I feel like she could have knocked that role out the park, and she wouldn't have regretted it. After the Academy Awards, things were kind of slow for her, and then she turned down that movie as well. She didn't appear on anything until 3 years later. She appeared in several movies like Island and the Sun, where she was romancing white dudes, and they weren't successful movies because of that, because of the interracialness of the movie, which was a setup on, you know, a lot of the directors and producers parts. It was a setup, because I don't know why they blame everything on race too. It's like, what if the script wasn't good? You know, the script ain't good enough, because it shouldn't matter what color somebody is. It's like, if they're acting the shit out of this script, then it shouldn't just be on her that the movie isn't successful. But what do? Blame the black woman. So I do feel like during the 1950s, it was hard for them to place Dorothy Dandridge in a position that would make her wildly successful, because they didn't know what to do with her. She was not only beautiful, but she could sing, she could act, she could dance, and she was black. And I just feel like they made it seem like it wasn't no place for her to be, or she couldn't do regular roles like all the other white actresses out. So I just feel like that's crazy, because she was an actress. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if she's black or if she's perpetuating a non-stereotypical role. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody just has a problem with blackness, you know? It shouldn't have anything to do with that. Okay, so like I said, she didn't appear in movies until later, 3 years after the Academy Awards. And then she appeared in movies where she romanced white people, and which weren't successful movies because of, I believe, the script and everything. But also, she did get pregnant by the producer Otto, and when he heard of her pregnancy from her, he left her. And basically, she wanted to get married to him. She was in love with him, and he wanted to keep things the way they were. He wasn't, you know, he didn't want to have an interracial relationship. I do believe that he did love her, but I felt like he was thinking about what other people thought more. So he left her, and she got an abortion. So I know that crushed her. And I feel like throughout her career, she just had a lot of regret, and she made a lot of decisions that she didn't really want to do in her life and in her career. So yeah, so she married. Then things were getting a little bit worse, and like in the movie, she did marry Jack Denson, who was a club owner, but he basically just used her so that she could perform at his club. and he used all her money on get-rich schemes that never really worked until she was bankrupt, and he would beat her. There was a lot of abuse, and he also, once the money ran out, he left her, and I believe that she got really depressed after that because of the fact that she couldn't care for her daughter who was in the hospital because she had Down syndrome and brain damage. She couldn't be taken care of properly, so she was staying in the hospital, and Dorothy Dandridge could not afford the hospital care anymore, so she was given to the state and she was put in a home, and I know that that made her even more depressed on top of her abortion and her failed marriages. But that was it also in the movie, so I'm trying to go through right now and see what wasn't in the movie. So after that, she became depressed off of alcohol and pills, and then as she was getting her life back together, she did end up passing away. Her agent found her in the bathroom on the floor, and she was dead of an overdose. So some things that were left out of the movie that I thought were interesting was that the fact that he really, like Jack Denson, he really like robbed her. Like, she only had $2 in her bank account after her death. I thought it was interesting. In the movie, it does have a party scene where she's in the party. She's in a party. I believe that's where she meets her agent. I think that's where she meets him at. But she's in a party, and this is when she's with a Marilyn Monroe lookalike and a Rita Hayworth lookalike. Apparently Dorothy Dandridge and Marilyn Monroe went to the same drama school and were in the same acting classes, so that's cool. At times they did call her the Black Marilyn Monroe, but I don't believe that, because Marilyn Monroe, she was just like hoeing a little bit, you know. Dorothy Dandridge, she wasn't no hoe as far as I know. She was in relationships, and maybe you could call her I mean, maybe the situation with her and Otto wasn't good because he was married, but he was reportedly separated, so I don't know how bad that is. But anywho, so she wore a lot of gowns that were made by Zelda Wine, which was an amazing fashion designer back in the early 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And Zelda Wine was the first black woman to open up a boutique, a store on Broadway in New York City, Snap for the Kids, okay? And she styled Dorothy Dandridge in countless gowns, and she would later go on to design the first bunny suits by Playboy Hugh Hefner. I thought that was interesting. So it was another fact that was left out of the movie was that it was reported that she had an embolism, which is when you have an extreme blood clot in your head. I mean, it's in no particular place, but in the movie it looks like she fell out of the tub, and she did have a fractured ankle before she died. So I think that she must have hit her head on the bathroom floor when she fell, and they did find pills in her system, so I definitely feel like that didn't help. But I'm trying to see some other things, because I thought I had more than that, honestly, because I feel like I wrote down a lot of stuff that happened already, or that was in the movie. So basically she also was, another fact that was left out of the movie was that she also was the first black woman to perform at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. So yeah, So a lot of facts were left out of the movie, but this was a very, very brilliant movie. I think that the first time I watched this movie, I was captivated from the very beginning because her story is incredible, and I really have a thing for, you know, finding out a lot of facts on stars that have been forgotten. Okay, so this is episode 3. I hope that you guys like this. Look up Dorothy Dandridge. She is beautiful. She is popping, and we will always remember her for her contributions to Hollywood and to black culture. Okay, so I hope you guys like this video. Make sure that you comment below and tell me how you feeling. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more biopic series videos, because you never know what movie I'm finna do. Okay, so make sure you subscribe. It's on Bray Alert, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.